I learned all about Claude Cowork for you. You can use it to automate workflows for you, like plan your day, triage and draft your emails for you, even automatically do bookkeeping. But that is just scratching the surface. I have it automating and building things across my business and my personal life. Like here's a dashboard that automatically tracks my investments, researches and suggests new opportunities, and sends me a daily digest with news that's relevant to my investments and suggestions that are based upon my personal investing philosophy. Not financial advice, okay? But I will show you how to build things like this later in the video. And you don't even need to know how to code. Crazy, right? So in this video, I'm going to properly explain to you how Claude Cowork works and show you how to do stuff all the way from automating some simple workflows to building entire ecosystems and softwares. Now, without further ado, let's go. A portion of this video is sponsored by Manus. Let's start off with first defining Claude Cowork. Claude Cowork belongs to a currently very popular category of AI products called local AI agents. And a local AI agent is an AI that lives on your actual computer that can autonomously do things with your files, your apps, and your tools. If you've heard of or used OpenCloud before, you can think about Claude Cowork as Anthropic's interpretation that is more secure, built exclusively using the Claude ecosystem, and targeted more towards non-technical people. In general, I think local AI agents are such a cool category of AI product, but I'm not going to go into more detail about it here. I actually made an entire video about it if you want to dive deeper into this, which you can check out over here. But for this video, we're going to be more hands-on and jump straight into Claude Cowork. So first thing you got to do is go to claude.com/product/cowork. Then you click download Claude and install it on your computer. Yay! You have now downloaded it, and this is going to be your local hub. So if you click over here, you can see that there's actually 3 tabs available. This is chat, which is exactly the same chatbot as on the web version at claude.ai. You can also see that you have all of your past threads that are here as well. Then there is Cowork. Cowork is the local AI agent, which we're going to be focusing on for this video. And then there's also Claude Code, which is the coding agent. By the way, Cowork and Claude Code is actually such an OP combination as well, which I will actually give you a little taste for this at the end of the video. But let's now focus on Cowork. First thing you want to do is to configure some settings. So go to Claude settings and go to capabilities. I actually just have everything turned on, but you can choose what you're comfortable with. Just make sure under visuals, you have artifacts, AI power artifacts, and inline visualizations turned on. Then let's go to Cowork tab. I also have a dispatch turned on. This will allow you to access Claude Cowork and control stuff on your computer through your phone, which is pretty cool. Then under global instructions, these are instructions that will apply to all Cowork sessions. So for mine, I have a little bit of information about who I am, how to work with me, and then how to build stuff and things I should never do. You can write this yourself, but I'm going to put a prompt on screen, also in description, which you can just copy paste into chat, like here, and then it will output it for you, and you can copy paste it back into Cowork settings if you like. Click save. Then finally, Claude in Chrome. So I also have this turned on, so it allows Claude to go into Chrome and do stuff on Chrome and visit sites. Pretty cool feature. You can do it as well if you like. All right, let's now do stuff. So go to Cowork and let's start off with some simple but useful little things that you can do with Cowork to ease you into it. This is like level 1. We will point Cowork into working at a local folder. So let's say choose a different folder and we'll go with my desktop here, which is very messy. I was waiting to clean up with you guys. Click open, click always allow so it can do stuff in the folder. And we're gonna ask it, help me organize these files. I'm gonna go with Sonnet here, but you can also choose other models that you want. And then click proceed, and it will lead you to this window. So you can actually see on the right that there is a progress window. It also shows you which folder it's operating under, which is my desktop. It also has instructions here, which can give it more instructions specific to working in this folder. Like maybe sometimes you want it to be more witty, and sometimes you want it to be more pushy, depending on whatever it is that you're doing. I'm gonna just leave it blank here because, we're just organizing some folders here, not super complex. And we also have context here, which Cowork would be storing information like what tools it's using and any other types of memory that it's loading up. Again, this is pretty clean for now, but there will be more stuff in here as you do more complex projects, which I will show you later on. All right, let's see. Here's what I'm looking on your desktop. We have 376 files total. Wow. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, a bunch of these things. Oh my goodness, I just have an API key that's just sitting exposed on my desktop. Oh, how awful. So it's telling me here's a proposed structure that I want to do. 2 questions. Good to move the screenshots into existing screenshots folder, merging everything there. What do you want to do with the OpenAI.txt? I strongly recommend deleting it or moving it somewhere securely. Okay, that is a great idea. Yes, let's go with that structure and let's delete the OpenAI text.txt and click enter. By the way, I picked this example also to illustrate to you the difference between Cowork and just like normal AI chatbot. Like if you're just chatting with Claude on web UI, it won't be able to modify stuff on your actual computer. Cool, so we see that it has assigned a task to itself and it's making progress. While it's doing that, I also want to show you another workflow. So let's click on new task again. And at this time, I'm going to be pointing Cowork to a different folder. One with my credit card statements. Wow, you're getting to know me so well this video. So here is 24 months of my credit card statement. I will allow it and I will ask it, please analyze my credit card statements and create an interactive dashboard that illustrates my spendings and also surface insights and suggestions. I'm going to pick the Opus model because this is like low-key kind of important, and I shall click proceed. Now let's go back to my files and folders. Look at that, it is done. Here's the results. Okay, so it said deletion failed, file system permission. Okay, got to delete it manually. Okay, that's fine. And the credit card.zip is still sitting loosely at the root level. Want me to move it to a credit card folder? Yes, move it to credit card folder. It says done. And here it is. Wow, look, it is so organized now. Has my OpenAI text.txt, so let's actually delete that now. Goodbye. Delete it. Great. Now let's go back and look at the spending and dashboard stuff. Okay, so it says it has found 24 Amex CSV exports spanning 2024 to 2026. Before I dive in, a few decisions to build the right thing. So what format do you want? So HTML artifact sounds good. How should I treat business versus personal spendings? So flag Lonely Octopus the business and personal charges separately. Let's do that. And which insights matter most? So I guess it would be recurring subscriptions, spending trends over time. Actually, yeah, I guess they're all important. Let's do that. You can see that Opus is a lot slower, but it's also a lot more meticulous. So it gave me a plan and I said, sounds good, let's build it. Great, it built us this little dashboard. How nice. So we can look at it over here, but actually, I'm going to just open this using Google Chrome. Okay, so it has my total spendings and monthly, business, personal fees and interests, etc., etc. So insights, oh my goodness, fees and interest. That's really bad. That is really bad. I'm being so vulnerable with you guys. Okay. So active business subscriptions is over $4,000. That's a lot of money. Okay, anyways, so there's a bunch of stuff that's here and you can track it, top categories, and I can also see the top 25 merchants, and maybe I want to get rid of some of these, etc., etc., etc. You get the point. By the way, you also can't just do this using the chatbot functionality directly, because that only allows you to upload 20 documents at a time. Here's 24, and the dashboard is actually local. You can see it right over here. I feel like we're pretty warmed up now, so let's actually go to level 2. Okay, great, this is okay, but you know, it's not really like my vibe. The color scheme is not really my vibe, and I actually want it to be consistent with the branding I usually use. So I'm going to add another folder that contains my brand assets. By the way, by brand assets, I literally mean just like screenshots I took of the Lonely Artist logo and like some parts of the website and stuff. Then I'm gonna say, based on the brand assets, create for me a brand book that I can use to guide future visual things. Enter. So what format should the brand book be in? So we'll do PDF as recommended, brand scope, Lonely Octopus only. So it knows that I have like a personal branding as well, but we're just gonna go with the Lonely Octopus branding. How comprehensive. Comprehensive, yes. Now let's actually look at this dashboard now. And there you go, look at that. It looks so much better. This color scheme is much better. It looks like my brand book. Nice. So I'm probably going to be using this brand book and applying it to things all the time. So I'm actually going to change this into what Cowork calls a skill. Make applying the brand book onto visual things we build a skill. Let's go through this first and I'll explain a little bit more about what I mean by skill. So scope of the skill is going to be generic brand applier. So I want it to actually just apply to everything that I build. And where should the skill live? I'm going to have it as a local setup for now, but it's actually something you can share with other people as well. So they could also be able to have the brand book and then apply this color scheme and fonts and stuff to whatever it is that they're building as well. But we'll keep it local for now. What outputs should the skill cover? I'm going to cover all of it because I like this color scheme. And there you go. Here is a reusable set of instructions that Cowork now knows how to apply this brand book into any visual thing that we're creating. So this here is the skill, and you can see it has a text file that basically explains how it is that you should be applying this brand book. And to invoke it in the future, you can just type apply brand to whatever it is that you want to apply it to. For example, I've applied it to some OpenClaw prompts, and you can see that it has all the branding now, how pretty. And here for the inbox triage dashboard that I have. Congratulations, you just created a skill that you can apply anywhere. You can probably see how powerful this is as you keep using Cowork and building up your own collection of skills. And you can use other people's skills too. If you click on customize and it clicks skills, and click the plus icon, you can actually see that there are other skills that people have built that you can use yourself, like canvas design for creating beautiful visual art, doc authoring for co-authoring documentation, eternal comps for eternal communications, etc. So I'm going to put on screen now some of my favorite skills, those that I created and from other people. Take a screenshot so you can try them out later too. Now, kind of related to skills, we also have what are called connectors. Connectors is another way for Claude Cowork to be able to do more things. Specifically, it allows you to connect to third-party software, like the most popular ones like Gmail, Google Drive, Google Calendar, Microsoft 365, and so much more. Like, there is so much that's here. Pretty much whatever third-party software you want to connect it to, it's probably going to be here. And if it's not, you can also connect it yourself using what is called MCP. Not going to go into too much more detail about this here, but I made an entire video about MCP, so you can check it out over here if you would like. An example of a workflow that uses a connector is this inbox triage that gets all of my emails and then categorizes them into what I should be doing and what is just noise. You can see that under connectors, there is Gmail that's linked. I'm going to put on screen now some of my favorite connectors and how I use them in my workflows. And finally, there are plugins. Plugins is a combination of skills and connectors to serve a specific kind of task. There's a bunch of these as well over here. For example, this finance one that is built by Anthropic themselves, and it allows for streamlined financing workflows. You can see that some of the skills that it contains is audit support, close management, financial statements, etc. And here are the connectors that it contains, like Snowflake, Databricks, BigQuery, Slack, Gmail, etc. So I've already installed this, and the way that you can use this is pointed to a folder that has statements like the Amex credit card statements, for example. Type /, and under finance, you can see there's financial statements. So you can do /financial statements, generate a statement for me, for example. And here is a financial statement for October 2025 financials. So it has the README and it has P&L, transaction details, smart receipts, etc. For anybody that's running a business, this is a game changer. Trust me. I'm also going to put on screen now some of my favorite plugins and how I use them. So we just got a new office. This is the new office space. As you can see, we have already made it super messy. Hey, Jovi.
Hello.
Yes. I took some of the photos of this place and gave them to Manus, the world's first general AI agent that delivers real results. I described a budget of less than $500, explained that I wanted kind of like a light academia vibe, and off it goes. It says that the office space has really great lighting from the big windows, and it gave some inspo pics filled with light and really cozy feelings, which I really liked. So I said, yes, actually generate your recommended decor for our actual office space. I also love that it's interactive and you can play around with it to get it to your liking. And here are the results. I loved it. The lamp, the carpet. I especially love these white flowy curtains that I recommended. And it actually gave links to products that were under our budget. We ended up spending less than $200. What would have taken days took us only 20 minutes. And here is the finished results. It looks so good. The curtains in the pictures, the carpet, the lamp, but it's still so messy though. You can try out Manus for free at this link over here, also linked in description. Thank you so much, Manus, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now back to the video. Great. There's now one more feature I want to introduce you to on Cowork before I can say that congratulations, you could consider yourself intermediate at Claude Cowork. And that is the scheduled tab. You see, a lot of tasks in life are reoccurring. Like you gotta wake up every morning, eat, go to work, check your emails, sleep, etc. So that is why scheduling task can be a massive unlock. Now to do this, we could type schedule every morning at 7 a.m. Give me a brief of my day based upon my calendar and a short brief for any emails I should be aware of. And I send it to my Apple Notes. Click enter and it says done. Now to activate this, you go to scheduled, click that task, and then click run now. We're going to be doing a trial run. Pop quiz. What skills and connectors are being used in order to do this run. Put it into the description. See if you're paying attention. And this is what it looks like on my Apple Notes. And I get these every single day. By the way, I like using Apple Notes because I can also look at it directly on my phone when I wake up. Amazing. Now I want to go on to the next section that takes you from intermediate to advanced Cowork user. And seriously, this is going to unlock even more than this. Like, if you think this is impressive what you just did, like, no, wait for it. It is going to get very magical because I'm going to introduce you now to projects. Projects are persistent, self-contained workspaces in Cowork that basically wrap a folder with its own instructions, memory, file, and connections. So Cowork basically remembers all the context across all different sessions related to that project. It enables you to do much more complex things. For example, I have a parent folder here called Cowork Playground. And within it, I have these 4 projects that pretty much span the entirety of my personal and professional life. Under Lonely Octopus, Cowork is helping me create curriculums, resources, and tracking our bootcamp students. Under content, it's researching content ideas for me. Under personal, solving my personal problems. And under investments, there's workflows that have to do with my investments. This is what a project folder looks like. So first of all, this is what the files of the investment projects looks like. And corresponding to that on Cowork, you can click Projects, Investment, and this is what it looks like. There's a lot going on over here. Don't panic. I'm actually going to show you how to set up your own project. First thing you want to do is create a folder. Let's make a new folder and just call it Stock Portfolio. Then we're going to go on Cowork and click Projects and New Project. And we're going to use an existing folder. Choose the folder, Stock Portfolio, open. And under instructions, I'm going to write, you are my financial analyst and advisor. Be very thorough and double check numbers. Push back on me when there are things that do not match my investment philosophy. Be direct. Then we're going to click Create. Amazing! Wow. Okay, you just created a project. Now, before I do anything else, whenever I start a project, I use what is called the productivity plugin. So if you remember, go to Customize over here, Personal Plugins, Browse Plugins, and you can install the productivity plugin. So technically, the productivity plugin is supposed to help you manage tasks, plan your day, and build up memory of important context about your work, etc. So it's about your productivity, right? So you may be asking, Tina, like, why are you installing a productivity plugin for a project? Well, let me just show you. So I'm going to do the plugin and I'm going to initiate with start. And you can see that it has created task.md and a dashboard and a directory, and it asked me some other questions as well. Okay, so even though I'm not really like managing tasks and things like that, the reason I always do this is because it sets up a memory system. So the next step I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop in a screenshot with a bunch of my stock positions. And I'm going to write, here are my investments. Not financial advice, okay? Just literally showing you how to do this. And it says, let me write all of this to memory and Claude.md now. So this is the power of the memory plugin. It's actually going to remember all of this and then also note it down for you. So I don't want to go into too much detail about how the agents is saving memory, but basically like having this memory system will allow you to have more control in updating the agent's memory and being able to see what's in the agent's memory much more easily just by opening different markdown files. You may have seen other tutorials that tell you that you need to maintain like Claude.md or like memory.md files yourself. You could do that. That's totally fine. But this plugin, this productivity plugin basically does that for you. And it's a lot more sophisticated than whatever it is that you probably figure out yourself, because Anthropic built this plugin and they're probably better than you. No offense. So don't reinvent the wheel, right? You can see the files that it created over here. For example, if you click into memory and you open this file, it shows you a lot of different portfolio positions that are here. So it maintains Claude.md and the memory MD as well. So sets up the entire system for you. Great. And every time that you do something new, all you have to do is type /update and it would automatically fill in any of the gaps in memory that it has for you. Nifty, right? Okay, let's actually just go and build something. So let's go to projects, stock portfolio, and we could do something like schedule at 7 a.m. across the world. So my actual investment philosophy is a lot more thorough than this, but I'm not going to go into way too much detail right now. Let's just go with this for now. Click yes to schedule. And great. If we look at the scheduled daily portfolio digest, and then we can click run now. Then you can get something that looks like this. TLDR, what moved your book, thesis check, action items. Cool, right? And then there you go. You can pretty much just build whatever you want now with all of the other features that we covered earlier. All those connectors, skills, etc., pretty much build to your heart's content. For example, we can create what I like to call a mission control dashboard for your investments. That looks like this. It contains my investments, tracks my daily digest, researches new opportunities for me, and always makes sure that it's in line with my investment philosophy. It's kind of like the mission control, so I can see everything I want to see about my investments. I have one of these dashboards for most of my other projects as well, because I like seeing things. So I am not going to recreate the entire dashboard right now, because that's going to take a long time, plus my sweet tokens. But do not worry. I am actually going to put a prompt in the description if you want to create a dashboard that's similar to this for your investments, if you like. Wow, there you have it. Now that you've unlocked projects, you've pretty much unlocked the ability of building whatever it is that you want using Cowork. It is so powerful. Please let me know what it is that you want to be building. And I'm also going to put on screen now some of my projects and some projects that I want to be building using Cowork myself. So in case you want some extra ideas. At this point, you are now an advanced user of Claude Cowork. But before I end this video, I do want to address one more add-on that will literally make you top 0.1% of Cowork users. And that is if you use Cowork in combination with Claude Code. Okay, so yes, you do need to know a bit about how to code. I have a video over here if you're interested in learning. But let me explain why this is so powerful. You see, with Claude Cowork, you can build out all these workflows. You can even build out these dashboards. I just showed you, like the mission control dashboard and a lot of other things too. However, if you're really into building things, eventually your projects are going to get bigger and bigger and more complex. And as amazing as Cowork is, it is not specialized as an AI coding agent. And that is Claude Code, where you're going to be able to unlock a lot more features specific for coding. And in general, you will also see that the coding ability is going to be better than Cowork. So how do you do this, you may ask? Well, Anthropic actually makes this really easy to do. All you have to do is switch over to the code tab of Claude on this hub, change your working directory to the directory that you want to be working in, like investments, for example. You can write something like add on to my mission control dashboard a new tab that lets me create technical trading bots. Enter. Trust Workspace, and you can start doing that. I'm not going to go into a full tutorial about how to use Claude Code because that's like literally an entire other video, and this video is extremely long already. But let me know in the comments if you want me to do that. Maybe I will do an entire video about AI coding. I'm going to put on screen now some other examples of things that you can build using this Cowork plus Claude Code combination. Maybe you can try them out. All right. Oh, okay. We are at the end of this video now. We have covered a lot. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much until watching the end of this video. And I really hope this was a helpful video for you to do stuff with Cowork because I think it's amazing. Thank you so much. Happy co-working. And I will see you guys in the next video or live stream.